So, and we're all set. So I had I think once I watched one oddball documentary here on YouTube, it's like unlocked the door to just more and more and more. And then I'd watch a little bit of another and a little bit of another. And then I finally stumbled upon one. I didn't get through the whole thing yet. I do plan on finishing it. I was shocked to see it came out in 2017. Aaron Shipp was the director, called Caged Men. And it's about single room, it's called single room hotels, SRO hotels in Chicago, the last one in Chicago. Now, it does not look like 2017. I was really shocked to hear that that was the case. It looks like it's some maybe 1991 at best, possibly 1985. So again, just another documentary about just regular people living regular lives. Not a whole like more reality TV than what reality TV became. Hey, what's up, Nico? Still ranking the years, man. Oh, no. All right. I gave up on ranking the years, but I at least got through about 14, solid top 14, I think, overall between the two videos. What's up, Yo Yo Mar? And then do you guys ever, I don't know, I think last time there was only a person or two here that ever had spent any time on RMP. But I was thinking today or yesterday even about the time there was a guy on there that everybody was convinced was connected to the band for one reason or another. Hey, what's up, Clint? How you doing, man? What's up, Rocco? And there was always just why either things that ended up becoming true, and then you're like, yeah, see, this guy knows something. This guy knows something. This isn't just a fan with rumors. And then every now and then though, there was just really bizarre posts. I don't remember the dude's name. It was just initials though, like just a three-letter initials, like RMP, like the place we were all, the board we were all on. Anyways, he would always talk about like the Long Show. Trey talked about a lot publicly, but he also claimed that they wanted a show with like no lights, all the lights in the venues, only the exit signs by law, which had to be on, would be the only thing on in the entire venue. No stage lights, no nothing. They would just try to get as close to total darkness as they could, which I think might be cool, actually. I don't know what you're supposed to do if you got to leave your seat, though. I mean, I feel like by the end of the show, there's going to be some injuries at the very least, if not worse. So maybe that's why they never did the dark show. Look, they never did the long show either. You know, same thing. People start losing their minds. They're locked in. I don't know what people try to get in. Who knows what would happen with that, but they never pulled that off. And then eventually I'll get to 2021 and talk about how they did knock some things off the list that were talked about all the way back in '03. The number show, the animal show, for example. But then the things would get even crazier. The guy would talk about how they had tried to arrange to play near the top of a mountain in Vermont, that they had hired a company to tunnel into a mountain in Vermont. Trey had bought up a bunch of property, and they were going to play inside the tunnel, but the crowd would be outside of the tunnel, so you wouldn't actually see the band. There would be speakers and everything outside, so you would hear them, just like maybe you were on the lawn or something, but you wouldn't actually see the band. That they somehow were going to play in a submarine. You know, this was even before couch tour. Now they could couch tour from a submarine, no trouble at all. But they wanted to get as low as safety would allow at the time. There was just all kinds of wild rumors that this fella had. So then that would lead you to believe, like, this is not anybody associated with the band. This is just a guy who happens to know some things, you know. And then I know there was many others. Those were just the ones that I'm remembering from 20 plus years ago or whatever. So maybe I don't know. I'm sorry, I've fallen behind on the chat already. Maybe somebody out there is like, yes, I remember that dude, and his initials were TDF or FRA or FFF or something. I don't know, man. I feel like there was an F in there, so FMR or something. FYC, I can't remember, man. FYI, I don't know. Mule, I think Mule's days are done. I keep, so maybe the last 3 or 4 summers, I felt like perhaps it was its time. Never happens. I don't know what happens. I got several more, and then there's even some local documentaries are popping up, either whether it's related to Dayton, Columbus, just Ohio in general. I got to check them out. There was this French director that went on to do some things. He made a documentary film about Dayton, a specific area of Dayton, not far from where I grew up, even closer to the home of Guided by Voices, the headquarters of the band for years and years. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Chuck, Rocco, Clint, Larry Rules. Hey, what's up, Larry? All right, see, I got the chat here in front of me. Much better. I still don't understand why they've never figured out the phone thing. Hey, what's up, Dan Z? Spud and Mrs. Spud are here, are they? There's Spud. What's up? Oh, I got no predictions, man. I'm sure I will like the Giz Orchestra album, though, and I'm sure the live shows will be cool. I don't think it's anything they're going to do permanently. It's amazing, though, that they are able to, yeah, probably Rocco. It's amazing that they're able to be just like multiple bands at once, though. Like a lot of bands would be like, well, we'll do the orchestra shows. We're not going to do an orchestra show one night and a rock show the next. I mean, not that there aren't bands capable, but certainly Phish every New Year's, they do some regular shows and then a crazy show. Same thing with Halloween. I mean, sets within the night on Halloween. Ah, good deal, Spud. I ate earlier. The cats ate. All good. So, although, yeah, hey, look, eating at 20 after 8, I would say that's sometimes a normal dinner time for me. I thought maybe I would catch people post dinner, though. I don't know what's going on Sunday nights. I think the Oscars is next Sunday, I found. Still rooting for Flo. Champion for the movie Flo. I'm sure it'll win. I think there was some other robot animated film out there. I should take a look at the documentaries this year, though. Although the documentaries that are going to be nominated for the Oscars are not really the type of documentaries I'm into right now. Sure, they could make a dumb, Crumbling Castle with an orchestra. Yeah, you're right. That'll be kind of sick, right? Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm going to hold judgment though. If I don't like the new album right away on the first listen, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a minute. I never hardly like stuff the very first time I hear it, and then I eventually do. And then someone mentioned the Wolfmans from Phoenix 2003. I had kind of forgotten about that show from '03, and it's a somewhat forgettable show. But the first of the summer, and it did, while Sense and Subtle Sounds had a big summer that year, a lot of them are similar. This was one that did stand out as slightly different from the others. I thought for sure there was a Piper that show. No Piper. They played that song Spices. Only got two, only appeared twice, ever. A couple nights after this one, and then that was it. They pulled the plug on Spices forever. Kind of like Spread It Round from that era. A couple of songs that start with the letter S. So anyhow, the Wolfmans was sick though. There's just one part is like they were like, is this still funky or is this getting hard? What is Page? Page was just working his ass off too, going for anything possible. It was one of the moments where the telephone ring, very unusual. Like, what kind of ring was that exactly, Trey? Is that European? Maybe a phone I'm not aware of or something? Could be. So definitely worth a listen. If you're just looking for a couple of songs, they conveniently go back to back. The Wolfmans and Sense and Subtle Sounds. Spices hidden in the first set. Stash. S's were a bit wild on this night as well in Phoenix. Hot show, I recall. Not that I was there, but I do recall that. I've done some chatter about that. Like some people actually are going to prefer the indoor shows this summer. The one advantage I do like is it'll always be dark, full effect of the lights from the first song. Sometimes summertime. What's up, Larry? Oh yeah, you are psyched for it. I bet, man. Is that not too far from you, or is that a little bit? Yeah, you're pretty close to that, right? And I can't get greedy. I live in Dayton, so the fact that Phish ever comes here, I'm pretty happy. So just the fact that they came here a couple fall tours ago. Pretty good. So that was it on the '03 show. And then I also kind of been revisiting 2021. I'm the one that was claiming it was so good. I was like, let me make sure it was good. And yeah, I still think it was for sure. There was the it just felt like a bit of a celebration, just them coming back after the near year off. And then it wasn't just the summer. It bled into the fall with some good shows. Like there was it Chula Vista was a really good one. I think I shared recently a recap that I did from the Chula Vista show. That was also the year they did some fun stuff around Halloween. Oh yeah, like I was mentioning. Oh yeah, that was all the way back in the R&P days. And that was well before songs like Ocelot were even around, or Wombat. And there's already talk of an animal show. Like they should do a show where like every song somehow involves an animal. The numbers thing was always a ringer, for years and years. That stuff. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, you're right. You are a rarely hitting the live streams. Felt like this was the comment section. Nice to see you, Trunky. And then yeah, so they finally did that in 2021, and I'm sure a little bit of them felt like, are we too old at this point? Because like even fans had quit talking about it and asking for it and speculating on it. Would they play a show where every song like involved a number? And I don't know if the thing was ever to like start out with 2001 and then 1999 and then work their way down all the way to eventually getting to Seven Below. I don't know if they ever did really. What was the deal that night? Was Seven Below before Character Zero? It seemed like Seven Below should have ended it, right? Obviously, plenty of animal songs. There's some real weird thing, too, where fans sent, I think it was Paige, maybe. Paige and his wife at the time had their first kids, and somehow fans, like, sent them all these stuffed animals, like every animal or everything represented in Gamehenge. Like, he probably doesn't even like Gamehenge. What you got weirdos doing? That was something I think RMP organized. So Phish message boards used to be a lot weirder. Used to mostly talk about the band, and they used to send stuffed animals to the band as baby shower gifts or something. It didn't help. Still ended in divorce. Probably when Paige started losing his hair, she split. Or was Paige the dick here and he traded her in for a younger, hotter model? That does seem to be the case, I hear. Shout out to Charlotte's Web's products. Hey, what's up, Mr. Salty? Howdy, folks. Hey, what's up, Woody B? How you been, man? Ain't seen you in a while, Woody B. Have you moved on to a different instrument? Woody B's now playing saxophone. He has fallen for King Gizzard and Ambrose, and he's a saxophone guy now. Very unlikely, but possible. Waiting for the day to Woody B to show up and be like, I have discovered Hot Rats. That is a game changer when you get real into Hot Rats, the Frank Zappa album. Sounds about right. That might be part of my Page McConnell introductions. Although I like the, doing it in the One from the Vault style, saying that he was the first guy in the band to go bald. And also a little bit of, there was like a Will Ferrell basketball movie about the ABA. What was that one called? Not Hot Shots. What was that movie called? The Will Ferrell basketball movie about the ABA. Somebody's got to know that one. What was that one? What was the name of that one? Semi-pro. Thank you, Clint. Yeah, semi-pro. So it'll be like part one from the vault, part semi-pro. And for my introduction for Page he was the first guy in the band to go bald. I would exaggerate their heights, obviously. He'd be 7 feet tall. He plays piano. And I can maybe mix that in. Something about him trading in the wife he had children with for a younger, hotter yoga instructor. Oregon. All right, Woody. I'm taking you the Ray Manzarek of the Midwest now. I could see Woody getting down to see playing some Doors probably. Didn't Ray play like bass too as well with his organ? He was a little playing the role of the keyboards and the bass player in the Doors. It's like that old Kids in the Hall sketch. Who played bass? No bass. Well, Ray played bass technically. All right, Justin, good. So we got some first timers here. Cool. This is a different time of the evening. Normally I'm either real late or real early. So good time. Got a couple first timers to check in. Good deal. Hopefully I'm not, I know I'm definitely missing a lot of the chat, but. Oh, you're going to try and do tour instead of just Manchester, huh? Hey, what's up, Jammin' Music Man? I will try. I will not, what, Willie? I'm tired of doing my own. Yeah, semi-pro was pretty good. Hey, what's up, Paul? I did have a lawnmower one time called Yard Man. That was the brand, or that was the name of it. I don't know what the brand. I think it was just called Yard Man. That's what it said, like down there by where you would pull the string. And I always thought this is Lawn Boy's father, Yard Man. Still actually have it sitting out there in the garage. I got like an old garage graveyard, basically, or a lawnmower graveyard. I got one that I think is totally out of order, one that I will only use for leaves. Don't ask me how it still works. This thing should be a disaster. Somehow it still works, though. And then I have the one that I actually use. I don't love it, but it's not bad. The yard man, right? I know. It's unbelievable. Years ago, when it was still in action, I posted a picture of it on my Instagram. People were amazed. Like, how original is Yardman? They just named their brand after a Phish song. And there's a company up in Michigan. I went to a dispensary there and got an ounce from somebody called Pot Company one time. Pot Company. It's like, well, it's getting right to the point, I suppose. Oh, you actually had a lawn boy mower, huh? Interesting. Ooh, you've upgraded the base, huh? Hmm. Did you go through somebody's house after the floods in Carolina? I'm kidding. Yeah, man, I'm tired of ticket prices. It's getting ridiculous. I did see, though, although the kitchen dwellers are going, although they're the first of three acts, they're coming with salmon and the infamous string dusters. Kitchen dwellers are going to start the night. And yeah, it's right here outside of Dayton in Huber Heights. It's Huber Heights. Huber Heights. It's Huber Heights. Oh, it's Huber Heights. They are playing at the Rose out there in Huber Heights. They are only like $24 for, there's not a bad seat in the place, really. And nothing against Salmon or the Infamous String Dusters. Infamous String Dusters is one of the bands. If you listen to an entire show, you really get into them. And I'm sure live, they're awesome. But I just really want to see the Kitchen Dwellers. But it'll suck to see them play for like 45 minutes or something. I don't know. But I do dig those guys. Lazy Boy Idle Man. Oh, I wasn't aware of the Idle Man. Interesting. That's a blatant ripoff, right? I mean, I know there's been some others. Jokeleys. Oh, is that true? Oh, okay. I had not considered that. I thought if he was back, he was back. But all right, I can see that. Last time I was there, it hit a high of 99 degrees. I went and saw Billy Strings at the Rose. I've been pretty unlucky with the heat. I think Deer Creek Phish Sunday was like the coolest show. And it was around 90, I believe, for that Sunday, Deer Creek. King Gizzard in Newport, again, it hit highs of like 95, 96. The line to get in was a complete disaster, just continued to wrap around the building. No, I mean, Steve Martin possibly has played with the infamous String Dusters, but no, that's not his band. It's possible that he has played with them, and it's possible that something about like String Dusters is in his band's name, maybe. Yep, semi-pro. I guess you're probably a little bit behind on the live stream, Jammin' Music Man. How you been down there in Georgia, Jammin' Music Man? Things going well? Ah, shit. Oh, yes. I was so worried I was going to be out of Pepsi. Fan mail. In case you're like, what are you doing with a Twiddle koozie, dude? First of all, I don't bag on Twiddle as much as I used to. There's new bands to bag on like Goose, right? Goose, the new Twiddle. Although some would argue at Twiddle's peak, they've never reached where Goose is. One guy keeps trying to really politely sell me on Goose, not like an obnoxious Goose fan. Keeps trying to tell me I'm missing out, man. Oh, yeah, and then that one weird word there in the title. I'm sure you've never heard of the dish Old Country Business. Perhaps you have. But and this was from me, this is not like, I know you're going to be like, well, that is some hillbilly shit, man. What? Old Country Business? Well, that's just what my grandmother called it, okay? Well, anyways, it was essentially scrambled pancakes with bacon in it. And that's what that word is there, the Kaiserschmarrn. So in Austria, it's like the emperor's breakfast or something. And they do like sweet, it's not supposed to be sweet. It's supposed to be salty. In fact, towards the end, I recall one time I was telling Mary when she made it for my brother and I, and it was like so salty. And we think she kept taste testing it. And, she was like 80 or something. So she probably kept thinking it needed more salt, needed more salt. We were like, oh man, like this is the greatest thing ever. But yet, and we still trudged through it, because we didn't want to be like, no, Grandma, you ruined it, too much salt. And we just loved it that much. But I mean, I think we probably devoured like, I don't know, either Pepsi or milk. She definitely wouldn't let me drink Pepsi with it. I would have wanted to, had to have like milk or OJ or something. So it was like breakfasty. And I don't know for sure if what she did was just scrambled pancakes or if there was a little something more to it. I got to say though, Mary gave it a shot. Her first time ever giving it a shot, really. She's just always heard me talk about it. And I think she finally, like the competitive side in her, was like, I can do that. Whatever you think your grandma was so good at, I can do that. And she did pretty good. In fact, I think we even realized maybe a smaller batch because like the last little bit of it was better. And I'm not above critiquing. Like right away, I started pointing out some things that were wrong with it. And I tried to describe it to her before she started cooking it, which first of all, I didn't even like. She just did this on her own, which I thought was very sweet. She just knows it's something that I love. And out of nowhere, she decided to cook it for me. So I'm trying to brace a little bit, let you know, like I'm not a total jerk, once I started critiquing her work and telling her that it wasn't actually right, this is not nearly brown enough. Like I'm not even sure that this is done. Look closer. This part's not even done. It's too big. It's not supposed to be crumbs, but it wasn't supposed to be large. And but it was still good. It's like I'll give it like a C, maybe. I'd probably give it a C minus, but since it's your first ever try, and she'd visually never even seen the stuff before. Sorry if I'm boring you guys with this. We'll get to dogs in a pile, trust me. Speaking of boring people, no, they're not bad actually for a modern jam band. Are you saying dogs are the new twiddle? Is that what's going on over here? So anyways, there's a little bit left. And at one point, I think she even suggested, hey, well, there's some left in there if you think you can do better. And I'm like, hey, I've already acknowledged that I have tried making this on my own and I failed. So don't be trying to throw that in my face like, well, if you think you can do better. Well, eventually, she got back in there and she gave it another shot in a smaller skillet, which I think is maybe crucial. And almost nailed it. We went from like a possible C minus to like a B plus, lacking a little salt. She kept claiming, well, the bacon will be enough salt, which I kind of disagreed with, So then we had to add a little salt at the end. I was like, you don't want to have to add it at the end. You need to add it as you're cooking it, as I pointed out, as instructed, even, I told her. But ultimately, it ended up being really good. And then the longer it sits there on your plate and kind of cools to room temperature, it like really gets good. But have some drinks ready because you are going to be thirsty. So there's nothing on the internet called Old Country Business. I don't know why my grandma called it that, but hers was still the best by far. I think my mom tried it a few times and she said, give up. Yeah, scrambled pancakes, just like scrambled eggs, visually looks a lot like scrambled eggs. Now, how you do it, I don't really know. I gave it a shot myself, everything just like I imagine you would do pancakes, but then you got to cook your bacon first, smash the bacon up, throw it in your pancake batter. And then as you got the pancake in the skillet, you just kind of mess it up a little bit. And then you want these things that kind of end up, you want your pieces to be about that size, ideally. And to be kind of browned, not totally browned, but browned, like similar to a pancake. How a pancake's kind of browned, but then the outer rim, is not browned, should be salty, but not too salty. And I'm telling you, it is unbelievable. Yes, Joshua, rest in peace, Old Country Buffet. I miss when I was younger, I loved buffets when I was naive and was just like, what do you mean? They could be kind of gross. I don't really love buffets anymore, but boy, I sure loved me some buffets. And when you're younger, and partially maybe that's why I don't get as sick from the common colds and whatnot and viruses going around. Could have been all those years at the buffet. And I mean, I did get food poisoning at least twice that I recall. From once from a Chinese buffet, once from a Golden Corral. You know, it happens. Look, if you're hitting a buffet twice a week for a couple of years, you're going to get food poisoning. It's the chances you take in life as a single guy in your 20s, I feel. Some of you probably can relate. Um, but no matter what, every time I get food poisoning, I'm convinced I'm going to die. And yes, I've gotten food poisoning several times. Well, I didn't have a wife to cook stuff for me, all right? I was out there eating who knows what. I was out there in the wild. I'm left to my own devices. Is that right? Or vices. Sitting around rocking some PlayStation, eating who knows what. Although Mary seems to think things can just sit around for like hours and hours and hours and be fine. Like I'm immediately wanting to put stuff in the fridge, and sometimes I'll forget, and I'll be like, "Oh no, I didn't put this in the fridge." She's like, "It's fine." I'm like, "You cooked this at like 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's like 10:30 at night now." She's like, "That's fine." She never gets sick though. I ain't eating that. One buffet I used to go to, these cups, I'm telling you, man, I guess they clean their cups every time they're used, but dude, they had these cups for I don't know how long. It's had to be cups from the day the place opened 35 years ago. Just chips in them and cuts. They're all like fall. They're just, hey, what's up, Super Bon Bon? I have not really paid attention to the chat at all. However, though, I think I did mostly talk about the things in the comment in the title this time. I didn't go too deep. I see, it's like, I guess the documentaries, I can't be more specific because I didn't even finish Caged Men, the 2017 documentary film by director Aaron Shipp. I didn't even finish that one, which I will. And then the others, I was just like, ooh, that sounds interesting, and I'd click on it, watch a few minutes and be like, nah, this ain't what I'm looking for. Then I got into the local stuff. Taste the Biscuit. I know that song. If you got cats, you probably know that song. Every night I usually have a different parody song when I'm feeding the cats. Tonight it was I can't remember the lady's name. That song, I Need a Hero. I need a hero. I should have Anyways, I kept saying Floppy wants a euro. I mean, they weren't eating a euro. I was giving them cat food. There was actually no beef and lamb involved either, but somehow worked beef and lamb into the lyrics. Is that Pat Benatar? I didn't think that was Pat Benatar. I thought it was I know it wasn't Diana Ross. What was that lady's name? Bonnie Taylor? Is it Bonnie Taylor? Wow. I didn't think it was Bonnie Taylor either. You guys know Bobby Davenport? You know that guy? If you don't know Bobby Davenport, you may know the song. Damn, what is that song? The old soul singer. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but I can't find the song. Hold on, I'm still here. I know you guys are still with me. Trying to find the name of this damn. Anybody know the name of that damn Bobby Davenport song? Oh, I'm sorry, not Bobby Caldwell. What You Won't Do for Love. You guys know that song, Bobby Caldwell? What You Won't Do for Love? I don't know. Check out the video if you don't know the song. Went down that YouTube rabbit hole recently. All right, so we're right about 30 minutes. I will try to find my own stream here again. Bonnie Tyler. I don't know if that was her or not. Tina Turner. A lot of people probably did that song. Yeah, Tina Turner was a thought. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, boom. Thank you, Dan Z. I will put that towards some catnip. They got some stuff. That band Raw sells the papers. They got some like catnip thing. It's called like Meowie Wanna. And Thank you, Dan Z. It's very kind of you. I'll hook them up for sure. And although I don't know about Cashew, he got in the house again the other day and immediately started trying to take over the place, attacking my cats. All right, guys, boom. Thank you for stopping in. I'm glad some first timers got in here in the evening as well. And if you're watching it after the fact, I appreciate it. Fellas like SE, he's a big fan, watches. I am occasionally. Yeah, I don't watch every single day, Clint, but yeah, I am still. Okay, Super Bon says it's Bonnie Tyler was the OG. I'll go with that one. Floppy needs a euro, and he wants it with beef and lamb. There's something about he doesn't want that kind they sell at Kroger's. Boom, we're out of here. Thank you, guys. I got a lovely voice, don't I? You know what I sing real well is that song, "The Thrill Is Gone." The thrill is gone. Boom, we'll leave you with that. See what I mean? You were like, God, was that a black guy? Nope, that was me. The thrill is gone. Boom.